Hi everyone, welcome back to the series called as Fundamentals of Economy in just 30 minutes. So today we have another interesting topic of the day, which is none other than financial inclusion. So this is what we have discussed even in yesterday's class. So this being a very important hit list topic for UPSC CSE examination, it is very important to have a clear-cut understanding of all the important schemes that come under this particular course called as financial inclusion. Now, in this particular topic, yesterday we saw what is financial inclusion, the various schemes, the measures taken by the government and such like that, including the challenges. But today if you see a little more addition in the context of further important schemes or measures, which is very important in order to achieve the object of financial inclusion will be discussed. Followed by another important topic, that is Niti Aayog report on digital financial inclusion. So this is a next, or let's say another important advanced perspective of financial inclusion, which is being digitalized. And finally, we'll also cover the topic with regard to women and financial inclusion. So these are the topic of discussions in today's class. So before that, as you all know, this is Nisha Najumuddin, your educated Unacademy, an expert in Indian economy, current affairs and MCQs. So now this is a very important course which happens every day from 7 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. because apart from the concept bite, this is also having a proper interlinkaging of that with the current affairs along with the previous year questions or the mock questions related to the concept. So now if you have a quick look into the description of this particular video, you can find a link of my Unacademy profile. All what you have to do is click on that to get the details of my classes. Here are the schedules of my plus class and also the free class. You can see that Saturday, Sunday you have a weekend current affairs batch and you have another NCERT batch starting on July 14th at 8 a.m. So you can just go through that. Apart from that, most importantly, every day 6 p.m. you have the top 1000 MCQ series ka free class happening. So be it free or be it plus, just keep one thing in mind. Nisha IAS Live. That is the referral code which you have to use either to watch the classes free in the free platform or to get a discount of let's say extra 10% and to come in the personal mentoring program. So don't forget this particular code, my young officers. Now, apart from this regular 7 p.m. class, we have another short course as well, just for 10 minutes in the same YouTube channel happening at 8 p.m. Clear? And this coming Monday, Wednesday, Friday, there's another Wednesday and Friday, there's another surprise for you people. I'll be coming live with another set of interesting topics. Stay tuned for the updates. In tomorrow's class, I'll announce it. So now, here we go, my young officers, with regard to the financial inclusion. So now we all know that financial inclusion, when everybody is having, irrespective of the fact that whether you're put up in the urban or the rural India, you are having access with regard to the financial perspective. That's called as financial inclusion. So yesterday also when we discussed about this particular topic, there was one particular yojana called as Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, which was capturing the attention of all of us. And even today, if you see, this is indeed very important and the government is focusing to improve this particular yojana to a greater extent to ensure that the objective of financial inclusion has been completely attained. So let's have a quick look into this particular yojana. If you see, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, it is basically in order to ensure that we are able to have a little inclusion with regard to financial perspective. And thus, previously if you see, there was some sort of financial exclusion like the leakage in the subsidies, and many a times if you see the poor people, in fact the poorest of the poor, they were not even getting any sort of benefits. And the reason is because none of the transactions were happening via the bank account and these people never even had a bank account. So now with the opening of your bank accounts and the so-called DBT. What is DBT? Not DDT guys, it is DBT. That is direct benefit transfer. Directly into the bank accounts of the concerned eligible beneficiaries, the money will be deposited by the government. So that is what you can find in the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. So this is a roadway to the so-called financial inclusion. Don't you think so? And as we saw yesterday, that it's a kind of yojana which is literally transforming our country, India, because there is no need to have a minimum balance if you want to open a bank account. And you can start an account with a zero balance, and there is an easy transfer of money across India, and the people through this, they also get automatically aware regarding digital literacy as well. So there are so many benefits like that. Even through the so-called Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, you will even have an access to pensions, insurance products, sab kuch like that. So this is making the transactions by the government more transparent with regard to the beneficiaries, that is the poor people especially, who are coming under all these schemes. the various schemes of government, I can say. So Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana is connected to so many other schemes of Government of India to ensure transparency. So thus, it is a national mission for what? For financial inclusion. To basically ensure that there is a proper access to the financial service, like let's say banking, saving, deposit accounts, remittance, sab kuch, including pensions, guys, in a very affordable or let's say a reasonable manner. Now, as you all know, the objective is just that, make sure that the financial products and service, they are having the better accessibility, availability and affordability at an affordable cost. And the technology has been utilized even at a lower cost with a wide reach. And now, who are the basic tenets of this particular Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana? See, one is to bank the unbanked, the people who do not even have a bank account, especially in the rural and remote areas, to capture them. So what they do is, they'll start opening a basic saving bank deposit account, and that doesn't require much of your documentation or anything. Even your KYC, know your customer documentation, those procedures are also simplified for the benefit of these people. There'll be minimum paperwork, and even you can start an account with a zero balance, and then securing the unsecured, and also ensuring that we are even funding the unfunded, like giving micro insurance, then overdraft for consumption, micro pension, micro credit, sab kuch like that. Even there is also an insurance, guys, coverage of 2 lakhs, etc. in this particular scheme. And initially, if you see, okay, when the scheme was launched, it was based on 6 pillars. One was universal access to banking service, the branch in BC. And even there was an overdraft facility of, let's say, 10,000 to every household. And promoting the financial literacy program, because people should know how to make use of the bank account, how to do transactions, how to, use the online with the help of internet, so many things like that. So like promoting savings, use of ATMs, getting ready for credit, sab kuch like that. And also how to use the basic mobile phones also. All these things they need to get an awareness. Only then they can literally attain the complete benefit with regard to Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. And now they even made a point very clear that our country, India, we have majority of unorganized or informal sector workers constituting 90% of our population. So now there was even a pension scheme for these people. All these are coming under the so-called Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. And based on the past experiences, some of the important approaches adopted by the so-called scheme consist of the following. One is the bank accounts, okay. They were opened online. There is no need for you to physically go and present yourself in the bank. No, you can just do that online in the core banking system of banks. Because previously offline could consume a lot of time and that could not actually work with. Now with the help of technology, sab kuch is happening. And now the interoperability through the RuPay debit card, or let's say the Aadhaar enabled payment system. That is also another approach in the so-called Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. Then fixed point business correspondence and simplification of the know your customer perspectives or formalities. It is indeed a good thing, because this is making the job quite simplified to penetrate into the remote or the rural area with regard to the objective of achieving financial inclusion. Now, the so-called scheme, guys, it was Yojana was extended with so many new features in the year 2018. That is, they said that we have to focus the shift from every household to every unbanked adult. Start being more specific in finding the individuals who doesn't even have a bank account. Make sure that they are coming under the proper transparency level by opening a bank account for them, by carrying out transactions, by making them digitally literate and all. Then RuPay card insurance. That is, it is said that a free accidental insurance, okay, on RuPay cards, it will be increased from rupees 1 lakh to 2 lakh for all the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana accounts, guys, which has been opened after 28/8/2018. And with regard to overdraft facility, also from 5,000 they doubled to 10,000. And with regard to the upper age limit, there was an increase in that for the OD from 60 to 65 years. So there were multiple benefits in the expansion as such. In the context of that, okay, it's very important for you to study about another important related topic called as Jan Dhan Darshak app. So now Jan Dhan, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana is with regard to opening of bank accounts, financial inclusion, wherein digital perspective is coming up. So now another important perspective in this regard is to know regarding an app called as what? Jan Dhan Darshak app. It is a GIS, I can tell you, for the financial inclusion. In your mobile, you have to download this app called as Jan Dhan Darshak. You can just see that. This is a picture. Now what is this all about, guys? It's a mobile application. Basically to provide a citizen all the important information regarding the regarding the places or the locations where you have the bank branches, the ATM, the bank mitras, post office, etc. in the country. So it becomes quite easy for the people to locate it. Okay, through the phone, through the smartphone. And if you see, around 8 lakh banking touch points, they have been mapped on the GIS app. And these are the facilities that you can avail under Jantan Darshak app. Clear? And as the need and convenience of the common people, again, you can modify this app. Modify means you can get all the informations and you can modify your searches accordingly. And many times if you see, this app has also been very much useful in identifying villages which are not served by banking touch points within 5 kilometers. So now finding out the remote, people, and again then penetrating the so-called, opening of bank accounts into their brains and then making them do that. For that kind of awareness, also such kind of Jan Dhan Darshak app is utilized. Clear? So large number of people come under the net of the so-called financial inclusion, I can say. Now, talking about this Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, in one single term, I can tell you that it is indeed very important for the development of a rural India, because a lot of people should come under the banking net for better transparency, efficiency, and to prevent corruption to a greater extent. Now, the next important topic of discussion deals with Niti Aayog report, based on what, again, a related concept, digital financial inclusion, the online perspective. Now, you know what happened? Niti Aayog, which is called as the independent think tank of Government of India, they, along with MasterCard, they have released a report, and the report was titled as Connected Commerce, creating a roadmap for a digitally inclusive Bharat or nation. Now, what do the so-called Connected Commerce report does is, they'll start identifying the issues or challenges in increasing or accelerating what the so-called digital financial inclusion for our country, India. And they'll solve the issues and then provide some suggestions or recommendations of making the so-called digital service more accessible, guys, to around 1.3 billion citizens, which means a wide coverage is happening. You can see inclusion over here, right? We are trying to include everybody as much as possible without any sort of discrimination. But though that is the case also, do you really think the so-called digital financial inclusion is an easy stuff? Definitely no. There are so many challenges, guys, in increasing or accelerating the so-called perspective. One is digital exclusions. How many of the people in rural areas having mobile phone, a smartphone? They may have a basic set. Okay, forget about even having a phone, guys. Even though you have a phone also, how many of the areas or regions are having a proper connectivity or exposure to internet or broadband? Now the government has come up with the optic cable fiber with regard to the the BharatNet program of ensuring that every single Gram Panchayat is having, but still the penetration has to be a little bit strengthened, because to remove such kind of challenges. And now a lot of people, especially the ones who are illiterate and the small and marginal, especially the marginal farmers and deprived sections, they are not familiar with DBT. What is DBT? Direct benefit transfer. That is, if you open a bank account, if you are eligible for under one particular scheme, be it agriculture, industry, or whatever scheme, you can get the money into your bank accounts. They are not aware about it. So you got to make them aware about that. Then breeding of corruption. That is indeed everywhere. Inadequate rural banking. The number of branches in rural area is very less with regard to banks. That has to increase. And now many times the BC, that is the banking correspondent model, they prove to be unsuccessful. And then you have another important issue with regard to accountability. So these are the most important challenges to be kept in mind. But then, talking about challenge does not give you a solution. You got to find an alternative for that, right? Indeed important. So now, some of the few important recommendations in this particular report of Niti Aayog, guys. One was strengthening the payment infrastructure. So when you're able to do that, you can promote a level of playing fields for all the non-banking financial companies and banks, I can say. That is a very good point. Now start digitizing registration and compliance process. So automatically we know that micro, small, medium enterprises, they require they require n number of growth. So then the money or the credit sources to enable growth of the opportunities of MSME is also increasing, and thereby building what? Information sharing system, including a fraud repository, and making sure that all these online digital commerce platforms, they are carrying the warnings to alert who, guys? The consumers regarding the risk of fraud. That is very true. See, online doesn't mean that it's completely transparent in every way. It is transparent, but then people use it in a good way also, in a bad way also. You can see a lot of frauderies happening in the context of online transactions. The reason why many of the people, in spite of literate also, they are skeptical to store their money in the bank account, and rather they ensure that they are withdrawing, is because via Google Pay, via PhonePe also, a lot of corruptions and frauderies are happening. We are hearing every now and then, right? So such kind of things are there. That is also one reason. But with the proper encryption code, with proper other security, tight security perspective, the cyber department is working to ensure that such kind of issue doesn't happen. So all these you can relate with the so-called cybersecurity perspective as well, which I've discussed with you in the Unacademy's free special live class. Clear? Now, with regard to this particular topic, again, I can tell you that it is very, very important to ensure that such kind of contact commerce, that is your, one second, yeah, your connected commerce, take care, this kind of report which is being put forward by NITI and also the MasterCard is ensuring that we are literally in the path of achieving a Bharat, a nation which is absolutely digitally inclusive, because that is indeed the need of the hour, guys. The next important topic is with regard to women and financial inclusion. So now many a times when you talk about women empowerment, when you talk about that, this, etc., still on a generalistic perspective, I can say that among the deprived class, your SC, your STs, your other backward classes, even women is also coming under that. Because not every woman in our country, India, are highly empowered or highly having every sort of representation with regard to economic, social, political or fundamental perspective. So now let's have a quick look into the inclusion of financial perspective with regard to women. Now, when you start having a better access and use of quality financial products and service, it's very important, right? Because that is only enabling you to have an inclusive economic growth and poverty reduction. Keeping this in mind, when there is an increase, or let's say increasing women's financial inclusion is very important, because women's disproportionately, this gender, experience poverty, inequalities, and also a lack of control over the economic resources. There are multiple reasons for that. So now when the Aadhaar was put across, okay, the effective implementation of that, I can tell you, was based on the electronic KYC collection of authenticated lower barriers, entry. So then this has allowed the GEM, that is your Jan Aadhaar Mobile Trinity, to put a basic foundation to bring the so-called 230 million unserved and undeserved deserved women into the formal financial services. That's very important, right? When you talk about women empowerment on one side, it's not just one part of the population. It talks about the entire population of India in every perspective. So this is also indeed very important to be focused, because you're making them financially independent by providing a job opportunities, by also pushing them into such kind of ecosystems where they're getting a popularity or let's say exposure and getting to know how things are happening. Because they are also change makers, right? What do you think? Isn't it so, guys? Yes. Now, with regard to the women and financial inclusion, there is a linkage. That is, one is building financial resilience. Now, if in your home also, your father, mother, everybody is there, but then many a times, more than your dad, it's your mom who makes the decisions with regard to spending and savings. In many low-income household and all, that they are the ones who do that. So when they can do that, now making them exposed to such kind of digital inclusions or financial inclusion is indeed very important. And they are very much disciplined and disciplined savers than men. That's a proven psychological thing. And a lot of research document also have shown that when the women are given opportunity, instead of putting them behind the doors or home, you can see how the savings are increasing and how the investment is increasing and how we are able to build a financial resilience. Thus, I can tell you that it is economically viable for the banks to target women while contributing to such social good. There are multiple factors in which you should focus on a woman. That is indeed important, right? Now, the next important point is with regard to increasing social capital. See, a women's engagement with financial institutions and the ability, guys, to access participations in work and credit, that will also can increase what their social capital. And if you see, empowering 230 million women Jan Dhan customers financially leads to what? The potential upliftment of 920 million lives, guys. Just look at this ratio. When you empower 230 million women, take care, Jan Dhan customers financially, you see how many lives, I'm not gender specific here, but rather around 920 million lives are being uplifted at an average family of 4. So this is indeed a huge thing to be noted, right? Yes, this is very important. Now, the critical for women's empowerment and poverty reduction, that is what is to be done for this. If you see, if you are able to provide the low income women with effective and affordable financial tools which will enable them to save more and borrow money, make and receive payments and manage risk, now that's very critical to both women empowerment and also at the same time reducing poverty and their home, because these women are many times the major decision makers with regard to savings, with regard to managing the home stuffs and all. Now, In yesterday's class also we discussed regarding global fintechs. Remember, that is, there is also gender gap in the context of global financial, or let's say fintechs. As per 2017 data, 83% of males above 15 years, they had an account at a bank or financial institution. See, we are not completely coming down, we are slowly increasing. Compared to the previous year, we are increasing. But then a lot more is to be done. That is indeed very important. And the reasons for that can be attributed to the socio-economic factors, including the availability of mobile handset and data facility, which has been quite higher among the men than women. Reason why the number of women is less is because of this, guys. Again, that so-called patriarchal society perspective is still existing in so many parts of our country, India. That is why. That is, a male member should have a phone initially. A woman doesn't have much of work to do. She has to take care of the kids and then the kitchen work. What nonsense and bullshit. Such kind of mentality should change. Everybody is to be equally respected, be it a man or a woman. That's a reality, right? Now, what you can do for this? That is, the way forward of suggestions is very simple. The financial service providers, they need to deploy strategies, thereby focusing on the Janthan women segment. For that, they can use a data which is sex disaggregated. For instance, target and communicate with the women and design products and process which is to be women-centric. You can connect this with the 2019 union budget. That is, see, for example, if you see in 2019, okay, in the union budget, there was something called as women development to women-led development. I repeat, women development to women-led development. So that is something to be noted, right? And even the policy level, collecting and analyzing gender discriminated data is also very important for the creation of what? Products and service among the low-income women. And making sure that you're enhancing what? The financial literacy. That is very important. Be it man or woman, this is very important. If you do not have financial literacy, then there is no point in telling that you want to achieve financial inclusion. It doesn't work at all. Clear? So that's all, my young officers, what you have to know regarding the so-called topics. And now let's have a quick look into the UPSC previous year questions or the mock questions. The very first question is, consider the following statements with respect to Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. I want all of you to put your answers in the live chat box or in the comment box. Do interact and make sure that the answers are put. Attend these questions and put your answers in the comment box. Okay. One is, it is a national mission for financial inclusion in 2016. Second, envisages universal access to banking facilities with at least one basic bank. 3. They provide a platform for social security scheme. Really? Use your brains. You have Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima, Suraksha Bima, Atal Pension, Mudra Yojana. I have taught you this in yesterday's class. And the answer is option number C, which means that only the second and third. Because we know that third and 2 is absolutely correct. Why is the first one wrong, by the way? Very simple. It's just because of 2016. See, applying the technique of keyword elimination comparison, which I normally teach you in the 6 p.m. class of an academy, I teach you this technique where I have told you that one particular point or let's say statement can entirely change the fate of your question. Now here, because of the year 2016, you got to know that the first one is wrong. Actually, it was in the year 2014. Okay. Option number A. Now, B and D is fatafat eliminated. Why? Because you have one there. So, using the intelligent technique called as elimination technique, very easily, even if you're not aware regarding the second and third one, 100% also, you can make a decision. Chalo, yes, 101% the answer is C. This is the way you'll apply this technique. Clear? So, on 15th August 2014, the so-called biggest financial inclusion initiative in the world was announced by PM Modi, and officially, after a few days, it was launched on the same year 2014 on 28th August. Next is, consider the following statements with respect to Pradhan Mantri Kisan Man Dhan Yojana. First one, it provides for payment of minimum period pension of 3,000 per month to eligible small and marginal farmers and attaining the age of 60 years. Second, it is voluntary and contributory pension scheme with entry age of 18 to 60. 3. Central government will contribute an equal amount in the pension scheme. Think and give the right answer, and the answer is option number C, which means that both 1 and 2 is both 1 and 3 is correct, whereas 2 is wrong. How can we say, guys, it's a voluntary and contributory pension scheme and the age is 18 to 60? Do you think 18 to 60? After 60 only you get pension. What is the entry age? 18 to 40. Till 40 only you can have the entry age. That is, you can contribute till you resign, but then there is an age for entry from 18 to 40. If you are having a job from 18 means you can start contributing it. Till 40 there is, but not after that. Clear? So you got to eliminate it. So automatically again, option number D is eliminated out of A and B. I have told you this before also. When the options are like A, 1, B, 3 and C, 1 and 3, 95% chance is there for the option to be 1 and 3 together. because that is a rule of many UPSC questions. If you see in the previous year question papers also, we can use this technique there. This comes under your keyword elimination comparison technique, which I have taught you. Clear? And now if you see, you have few important questions, guys. Again, I told you yesterday also, from the mains perspective, this topic is very important. One more question here you have with regard to the UPSC mains economy part, that is financial inclusion. Here it is in the context of digital technology. Despite digital technology and government initiative, hurdles to increase financial inclusion of women have not been eliminated. Discuss why. You can put across whatever I have taught you in the PPT PowerPoint presentation. Then another one is discuss the importance or significance of Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. So now this is about Yojana, guys. Normally Yojana and all will come only for the prelims. The reason why I gave you this is because this particular Yojana has a lot more to do just than as being a scheme, because it has a lot more to discuss from the mains perspective also. So write it and you can submit your answers in the Telegram or WhatsApp. Okay. Next one, Pradhan Mantri KMY scheme is in India. Explain about it. Who are eligible for this particular scheme? This is also another important question which you can just write it out. So thank you so much, my young officers. I hope you really enjoyed this class. If so, don't forget to like, share and put your feedbacks in the comment box. So stay tuned for more videos tomorrow at the same time, 7 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. And also after half an hour, guys, at 8 p.m. quickly come to the same channel for the Economy Booster series which is happening. Clear? You can just go through all the subscriptions offer, guys. The Unacademy Promise Week is going on. The extension of subscriptions are kuch like that. And for PDFs, you can just follow me via Telegram and Unacademy. You can just go through these. So thank you so much, my young officers. I'll see you all tomorrow. Till then, take care and Jai Hind.